Here the Clark's family is going on a walk and our nutty dog is going crazy. She just wants to run.
Calm,
We're gonna have a nice little Santa run.
Santa walk.
The Santa run and walk 5K. But I don't know if it's gonna be a 5K with two little kids.
Stop cheering.
Look everyone, he's going down.
What are you doing? No! No!
Here we have Jeff, Paige, the solemn one right now, Sarah, who's got nerve damage, Melissa, and the little punk over here who stole my seat. This is the face we'll be missing next year. Look at that profile. Look at that side profile.
What's up?
Sarah, what do you have to say to us before you go next year?
She's happy that she's leaving.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Jeff, what do you have to say to us tonight? That's a true Jeff statement there. Melissa, what do you have to say to us? This is really boring, I know. Normally these girls and guys... Oh.
Hey.
No big difference? I don't think so, I don't know. Hey.
We have Dad.
You're in my house now.
And Uncle Charles is visiting.
Well, I'm just thinking how much of a difference.
Here we are! Right here is my little niece.
Worry about accuracy.
Are you filming it on my stomach?
Yes! And here we have the carrier. You look fine! you know what I meant by that. And there again is my little niece. We're quite excited. I apologize to the camera for saying the carrier. Here we have Michelle, the wonderful mother. We'll get a profile later. We have the profile. Look at that. That baby's growing.
Sitting profile.
And look! Leanne's home! Say hi! Hi.
I'm gonna go walk over some of the cake.
They're going for a walk. Look! See? Riley. You want to say anything for the camera? Hi! There's the new addition to their family.
Really hard.
Hello, Micah! Hi!
It's preschool.
We got a really close up. A big close up of Melissa.
How close?
Can you make sure the dog...
Here we have the best member of the family, Lizzie Elizabeth Clark.
I cannot read it.
Party at the Clarks. We got Sarah, Ashley, Brian doing an interpretive dance once again. Jared! Jared, say hi! There's Jared. And Brian. The party. There's Jenna. And Leanne. And Thea. And Amber. And there we have Michelle again. Jared, you playing? Say hi. Look, it's Jared playing the piano. Wow.
Bang with the gun with y'all run.
Ryan, what did you leave out of those? You do find
Those are little dance. That's when you know you're sad.
Needs more cocoa.
You soft it too much. Mommy's sick, Jared. Jared, mommy's sick.
Says, okay, I'll come over here and sit on Grandpa. Yes, two Grandpas.
Give Brian the dude 5 little squirrels. Where's Brian? You know Brian?
5 little squirrels. That's all I got.
Sitting in a tree.
What is the fifth
Sitting
one
in a tree.
Jared, what does
They're sitting in a tree.
This little squirrel. This little squirrel.
This little squirrel.
Yes, what do I see?
What does he say?
What do I see?
This little
What do
squirrel
they say?
This little squirrel says, I
He's
smell
going to
one.
5.
This little squirrel says, I smell
I do.
a gun.
3, 5, 4, 5.
This little
I smell
squirrel
the
says,
blood
let's
raining.
run. This little squirrel says,
Let's hide in the
What did he
shade.
say, Jared?
He
This little
does,
squirrel.
He's not buying Brian. Never
Says,
is.
I'm not afraid.
I'm not afraid. Come back.
Bang went the gun way, all right.
Aware of that.
My cousin Ray ran into some other Arnett's when he was doing some research for his law firm back in
If I can get
where our
him to,
terminology ends on the Arnett line back in North Carolina. And so he found this family that,
They're
that
different,
we think our two families are tied together, but we can't prove it. So one of them gave DNA, and my cousin gave DNA, and we've now proven that we're related.
The Sorensen Institute through here.
I don't know where Wayne had
They,
it.
they do a mouthwash.
My cousin Wayne is
on
who's a lawyer who does this stuff. He did it. But,
So they had
but
to take
two
DNA
of those from that other family, where the DNA came from, are ministers, and they live in Seattle, and they follow the mariners and they went down.
Oh, so watch this thing,
And while we were going off on our honeymoon,
You got me.
I'm having a party at my house tonight with my Arnett cousins in Seattle.
Okay.
And he said, they're here for the mariners. I didn't get to
And
go.
they're like, what are you doing? I'm like,
right? On what? Well,
since last October, more or less, off and on, and I had some difficulties here and there, so he just kept, waiting to see if things would smooth out a little bit with my kids, type thing, which they didn't. So finally,
Come here, buddy.
last Monday, spring break started for him that
3
weekend.
weeks ago tomorrow.
Yeah. So I had put a chicken on to stew and had to debone the thing, and he called about 10:30 in the morning, and I said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm deboning a chicken. Oh, okay, well, when can you get down here? He says, I need to talk to you. I said, well, I got to debone the chicken, I got to take a shower. And then driving from my place to his takes about 20 minutes. So I said, all in all, it's maybe 12:30. About 12 he called and said, well, when are you coming? And I said, well, I'm getting there, and I actually I'm getting ready to leave. And I said, and the way he'd asked me before if you could come down, it wasn't real happy sound. He was kind of serious. He was serious, and I said, Rex, is this something bad? Because I'd had enough bad things happen. I said, if it is, I'm not coming. He said, no, he says, I don't think it's bad. I don't think you will, but I don't know, So, okay, I'll come. So I got down there about, what was it?
on my
A
seat.
little after 1. He met me at the door. I was in Levi's and nice shirt on, but I was in Levi's, and he met me at the door in a suit and tie. It was Monday, and I knew he wasn't working in the temple, and I said, well, you didn't tell me to dress up. He said, no, it's okay. He said, but we're going over to the temple. I said, okay. So we walked over and went around the east side, which I've never been, I don't usually go around that side. But there was a bench, and he set me down on the bench, and he said, this is where I have come in the last 8 years or however long when I get down. He says, and I'm tired of being lonely. And he says, this is my lonely bench. It has my name on it.
Rex Arnett Memorial
Rex
Bench.
Arnett Memorial Bench. That's okay. So he said, I think it's time that we should get married. And I said, yeah, but this has been the standard joke for the last 3 months, but you haven't asked me. Because I'd leave his place at night and have to drive up to my place, and it was late. And he'd say, I wish you didn't have to go. I wish we were married. And I said, yeah, but you haven't asked me. Oh, yeah. This would go on and on and on. So finally he did. And he said, I've asked you. He said, but you don't have to. I said, are you kidding? No, you're not getting out of this. So I said, that's fine. He said, yeah, but the bad news is I want you to marry me today.
No, that was a good one.
Yeah, well,
I mean, she's not telling the story right?
no, I'm telling the story right.
Depends on who's perfecting it.
And I said, what? He said, well, you don't have to. And I said, well, you know, just a minute. So I sat there and thought about it, and I thought about my kids, who some of them would have come, some of them wouldn't have, and I didn't want to have to make that choice because they would have felt bad about it down the road. So then I said, I thought, you know, then I don't have to order any cake. I don't have to order any. I don't have to send out any announcements. I don't have to schedule anything. I don't have to invite. I said, yeah, I've been there and had all this, and so have you. So I said, we don't need that. He said, now you're getting smart. Great, let's go.
Well, there was also urgency because it was spring break. I had the rest of the week off.
Oh, and then the other part of that is, he said he was turning 70. I says, I don't want you marrying a 70-year-old man. So he said, you know, my birthday's in a couple of weeks, so 69 is okay, but not 70. I said, well, are you turned into a frog or something at 70 or what, you know? And he said, no, I don't want to have you marry a 70-year-old man. I said, all right, we'll go do this.
For having a 70-year-old father.
So, my bishop was out of town. I knew that. He tried to get hold of his bishop. He couldn't. We would like to have had my brother marry us.
He'd been on alert for this for some time, but still we're holding back.
My brother was going, he was on his way to California. He's state president there. So he couldn't, and so it took about 10 minutes by the time he got over to the marriage license place. They don't even ask any questions. They just, you know, issue the license out, and there you go. And he said, I'll get a hold of my state president. So he did, and we went out and visited him. He didn't tell him he was bringing me, and we walked in. He said, well, I think we need to go back here and talk. And Rex said, yeah. And then he was looking pretty happy about this. And he says, so, Rex told him what we needed, and he says, so somebody's going to get this man off the streets, huh? And I said,
he was delighted.
He was delighted. I said, yeah, I guess so.
Of course, he did some of the background.
And he said, but I'm leaving this afternoon to go out of town. He said, so I can't do it. But he said, I know somebody who can. And that's your bishop. And he said, well, I think he's gone. He said, no, I know he's not gone, but I have his cell phone
Tried all
number.
day to call him.
He said, I have his cell phone number. So he got him on the phone. He told him what he wanted, and I could hear exclamations of joy in the background
Bishop.
from the bishop. And the stake president said, well, you will be there, and you will marry them. And then I heard him say
Well,
the
the state
time.
president didn't he just said, you're going out of town tomorrow, but tonight you'll be in your office at 8 o'clock, and they'll be there, and they've already put this witness couple on alert.
Which are his good friends and my good friends.
And they'll be there, and you'll be there.
You want me to hear it?
The bishop said, of course I will. So, but there's more to come that's hilarious. Go ahead.
So, by the time I got back to his house, and he phoned Ron and Jean to see if they could, get there in time, and they were leaving Stafford, which is a 3-hour drive.
They had time, they made it.
They had time. They got down there at 7:30, but I went back up to my house, and I thought, oh man, I have 2 hours. But I really wanted to do that chicken soup, because I deboned the chicken. And I wanted to leave some for my daughter and son-in-law, who were at that time staying there in my home. And so I said, Heather, come help me put this soup together. So she started chopping up veggies, and I got the soup going, went back, and I told her we were going out. I was going to go with him out of town to visit his friends in Albuquerque. I didn't tell him that I was getting married. Sort of lied.
She wouldn't have come anyway, so.
Yeah, but anyway, so got packed and got back down the kitchen, and the pantry, the shelves are high, so there's a ladder in there. I got on the ladder to get a couple of quart jars to put the soup in, and I heard the phone ring, and I knew it was him.
The context of this was that it was approaching 8 o'clock, and I wondered if she changed her mind, and I knew that
No, it was.
witnesses were there.
A little after 7.
Well, but
that's approaching 8.
It was
with the
approaching.
20-minute drive from your place.
It was. Yeah, it was getting nervous time, so. Anyway, I thought I was on the bottom step of the ladder. I was not, and I literally flipped side of my face, head, hit the cupboard door, hit the garbage can with my face, and hit the floor, and hit the ribs, and whiplash, and whatever else went on. And I laid there for a minute, and Heather came running in because it made a terrible crash, and she said, Mom, what on earth? And I said, Heather, is there any blood? And she said, no blood, but you're going to have a huge black eye. And well, whatever. Got the suit, left, got down to his place and got there about 7:35, changed into my clothes. By this time, the eye was swelling, but it wasn't black and blue, and I really seriously don't know how I drove down there, but I thought, well, I can do this. I can do this. And I got down there, and Ron and Jean were
1
there.
minute to 8.
We got in the bishop's office. He was really cute. There were no negatives in that office. There were just the 5 of us, and it was very lovely to me. The bishop said some very nice things, and we left there and went over to. He gave me this bracelet. He thought he had a necklace, but I'm glad he didn't. And it's a CTR bracelet, and he said this means choose the Rex. Okay.
Choose the Rex. You
CTR.
might need to get a little more creative with that. You're gonna hang on to it. I mean, spontaneous maybe, but long term.
All in one day.
All things considered, it wasn't bad.
What are you gonna go do outside right now? Jared. Jared.
What?
Jared. Are you gonna get eggs?
See where you can find eggs. Anywhere you find eggs. Well, there's one. Put it in your basket. He's gonna take it. Don't open it.
Jared, put it in your basket.
Put it in your basket.
Yay!
Pick up your basket.
Get
Go
all
get
the
some more
eggs. Get all the eggs you can find, Jared. Hurry before Uncle Peter takes them all.
Hey, handsome little.
I picked some purple. I picked some purple. I picked some green. I picked some green.
Are those eggs?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I get rubbers. I get rubbers. I get rubbers. I get rubbers.
You getting a bunch?
Yeah.
Don't take them all. Wow, Jared, you got a full basket already.
What are you going to do with all those eggs, bud?
Full basket.
I'm doing that one. I'm getting that older. I'm getting older.
What's inside the eggs? Candy?
I'm getting that.
Any more eggs you can see, Jared? Just testing this recording, sure everything's in order. This is my workplace at Martin Door on an early morning. This is March 31st, and this is General Chow Shen Chow. So I keep getting his name mixed up. Anyway,
I need to show you some of the pictures that I, when I was.
Could you respond to me in Chinese when
Ni
you
hao.
speak? Ni hao. Everybody knows that.
Yeah,
Come on.
Ni hao.
But right next to him is from the mainland, Zhang Zhao. Eating his. No, I don't want to record.
Preachers would watch constantly on television and the radio. Two most influential of these men were Jerry Falwell and Pat Robertson.
God, back to the Bible, back to morality. Amen, brothers.
These men, as you've just witnessed, took the Bible literally and believed in absolute standards of right and wrong. Thank you, Mr. Falwell. Back to you, Paige and Heather.
Thanks, Ashley. These men also worked for family values. They wanted to reduce the divorce rate, and who could blame them? They also wanted to reduce the number of wedlock births, and they wanted to increase individual responsibility.
Conservatives started to win political power in the 1980s. Reagan ran against Carter in the 1980 election. We will now go to Sarah, who is going to tell us a little bit about Reagan.
Oh wait, there's a camera in my face. All right, Ronald Wilson Reagan was born in 1911 in Tampico, Illinois. He was originally a New Deal Republican, Democrat, sorry. but became a conservative during the 1950s. Ronald Reagan is a popular movie actor. Maybe you've heard of him. He's produced more than 50 films. Here are some words by Reagan himself that show his true character. A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when Jimmy Carter loses his. Back to you guys.
Thank you.
Hey, Pedrito!
Who is the MVP?